Wake up, wake up, and stay woke. Because this is the Ball Hog Sports Talk with your boy, B. Brown, ESQ, a.k.a. the Ball Hog, a.k.a. the Mouth of the South. This is the place where sports, business, and entertainment collide. And we're going to give it to you rough, rugged, and raw. So come get you a spoonful, like some grits with butter and salt. You know how we do it in the South, y'all. Make sure you do not get caught in your feelings. Strap on your seatbelt and enjoy the ride. Come on, let's go.
What's good? What's good with you, B?
You know what it is, man. Just happy to be here, baby. Another opportunity to get some freestyle in, baby. I'm having a good night, man.
Freestyle Hot 16, Volume 10, 90 episodes away from syndication. That's on our way. We're going to do it. We're going to count them down.
Are we at 10? We're at 10?
We're at this Volume 10, baby. Volume 10. 10th
Double digits, baby. Double digits. That's where you made it. You know?
It is, man. I had to come in with my, man, it's cold in Chicago, man. Winter's upon us. I had to bring my winter hat in. You know, in Chicago get cold where no matter what the heat is on the house, you still need a little something extra. So I did cut my hair. So for some of you guys probably thinking I didn't cut my hair, it's just cold. I just got some Chicago.
I know I do not miss the Chicago winters, man. That's one thing I just do not miss, man. It's a different type of cold in Chicago, something that a Florida boy is never ready for. So hang in there, man. But you're from there, so
we
you
never get used to it though. You just deal with it.
I was wondering because I was like, you're from there, so to hear you complain about it,
you know what I'm saying? In Florida, do you get hot when you were in Florida? Was it hot in summer?
No.
So it was 99 out, 100% humidity, and you walked around like it was all good.
It's all good. Let's go work out.
You're built better than us. We're not like that.
It's just different. Not better.
My wife sends me a listing in Chicago. She sent me a listing for Bradenton, Florida today. She wants to move. We're not moving to Florida because I'm going to be too hot, and then I can't do it.
That's why they got the air conditioner, man. You got AC, baby.
Yeah, that's why I got a hat on. I got a Scully. I'm fine right now. I'm doing good.
Yeah,
I'm doing good.
Just like y'all got heat everywhere you go, in Florida, you got AC everywhere you go.
I can't see Biggie. So tell me, Biggie got to be. He been looking
Biggie.
Biggie. So
what's your favorite Biggie song? That's a random
question. What'd you say?
What's your favorite Biggie song? Such a random question, but
man, I like this. It's a remix. It's really it's Biggie and Lil C's Get Money. You could be as good as the best of them, but as bad. The beat is fat. I didn't even have to
I'm
think
so
of
cliche, but Juicy is the one for me. It just brings back so many memories, man.
Just from an entertainment standpoint, I really do like the 10 Crack Commandments. I hate what it stands for, but I just like the flow. Biggie's.
I like that. I like your disclaimer at the end.
I mean,
upstanding, positive.
Like I don't know nothing about selling crack. I'm from Evanston. I'm the Burbs. I didn't do nothing like that. But the song itself, just from entertainment standpoint, that's all it is.
All right. Well, so
speaking of entertainment, man,
what is it?
Bowl game today? Bowl season, man. We got games going on.
Yeah,
got a couple good games we've had so far. I see Miami was about to catch a pumpkin head, and I stopped watching. I came back, turned out to be a really good game. Missed that. Texas played Colorado.
They did.
Yep. You know, it's funny. I think the interesting thing, and I'll get to that. Let me come back to that in a minute. But tonight there's a game. Florida is playing. Who's Florida playing today? They're playing against Oklahoma. Should be a great game.
Yeah, in the Cotton Bowl.
But they're down 4 players at the 4 receivers. 2 opted out. 2 had COVID protocol. I'm thinking that they really opted out. What's going on with the bowl games? I mean, with the COVID season and the opt-outs and the playoffs and everything. People not playing in the games. What do you think? What do you think the future of these bowl games
are? Great question. I'm gonna start us up. Hot 16. Let me start your time. We never start right on time.
Yeah, we never finish on time.
Sport for those people who've been under a rock and don't know what we're doing here in episode 10. It's the Sports Freestyle Hot 16, where we go in and now it's starting. All right. In terms of the bowl game, all the opt outs and COVID, I just think it's just such a different experience, man. When Jalen Smith got hurt in that game against Ohio State and was arguably going to be the first pick, Jalen Smith from Notre Dame, the linebacker who now plays for the Cowboys, was arguably going to be the first pick that year and got hurt. And in the same game, I think one of the Bosas got hurt, the elder of the two. I think it was Joey.
Now, Bosa, I think his story is different, if I'm not mistaken. No, he got ejected. He got targeting. That's why he had to get out the game.
He got targeted. Yeah,
he got targeting.
He got targeted. Right. He was out of the
younger
game.
Bosa. opted out after he had like a little sports hernia, and he opted out the rest of the season
Right.
coming up.
And I think that's like the beginning of the sort of this new frontier where players are opting out, and it's become commonplace now. At that point, people will still question, like, does he love the game enough to spend a first round draft pick on him? And now I think the NFL front offices have just adjusted. That's a long, very long-winded way to say it's just a part of the new fabric. So the bowl games and the quality of player on the field is going to be watered down because these guys are looking out for self, and that's just what they do now. This, it's different for us. And at the risk of sounding like an old man, I would have done anything to get that last college game in, because we've got the benefit of hindsight and remember those days when it was just so pure, playing for your brothers, and before it became purely monetary. But at the same time, we old men now, bro. Things have changed. They're just different. They're different.
The way I kind of look at it, and I think if we use it the right way, it'll become something it's exciting in its own right. So granted, I think the playoffs gets expanded to 8. We got to go at least 8. I know 16 might be too many, although 16 bars would be great. But anyway, 8 expanded to 8. But the bowl games, if you start to repurpose them for something. So like yesterday, I saw Colorado played Texas.
Mm-hmm.
And they had announced, they had already slipped it to the press and say, hey, we're going to give this freshman quarterback 2 series, right? We're not benching the other guy. We're just going to give him 2 series because we haven't seen him play this year. And now, even though this year doesn't count, in general, you get 4 games regardless, as opposed to in our era where it was first 3 games. And then after that, you had the rest of now it's 4 games you could play at any point.
Any point, right?
I think what you can do with these bowl games is say, let's start to make this more of a futures game. The NFL guys that you have, they're going to opt out. A lot of those guys are going to opt out unless they need to get their stock. And I don't have a problem with it. To get them not playing for a championship, because what happened to him, even Willis McGahee, I think it was McGahee, wasn't it? They got broke, but that was a national championship, but he broke his leg.
Yeah.
A lot of bad things happened this last game.
Or something. Yeah.
Something real bad happened. So I get it. Go ahead and opt out. I love you. Keep going. But it's a futures game. Now, the funny part was they put this freshman guy in, though. Texas was beating Colorado pretty well. I think this is Texas, Colorado. I'll make sure I'm right.
Texas, Colorado.
Yep. This dude drives right down and scores. They put him in again. He drives right down and does it again. And then they put the starter back in there, and I don't know. So they were like, this dude's he's showing the future. But I think if they make it more of a futures game and say, all right, we're going to put in our freshmen. So now I'll be excited to watch. So any team you're interested in now, you want to see who the next guys are. It's an exhibition. It really doesn't mean anything. You obviously want to win the game. But the top stars are not going to play. They're going to go for the bowl game. Thank you for your service. Do whatever. Some of the last seniors, this is their last chance to go play. But then let's see some of the futures. Because, again, the games don't mean much. I mean, the Poinsettia Bowl or whatever. I can't remember. It was the Cheez-Its Bowl or whatever. Come on, man. Some of these games is the most obscure. Pretty soon there's going to be the Big Flow and Ball Hog Sports Show bowl game.
Yeah.
Hopefully they play. It might be played in I don't know, man.
We got
that. In Beloit, Wisconsin. I don't know.
It's all good. Hey, they play them everywhere now, man. They got them in Boise,
D3
Idaho
versus D3 2 challenge.
The Idaho, they got the Idaho Bowl now. Like, what? But look, I say this, man. It's almost like March Madness in the sense that NBA teams, the executives are making decisions. They watch players make big plays in big time moments, and they make decisions based on that. The bowl games used to be that. You got to get that element of it back, such that you don't look at it, well, I don't want to go out there and risk getting hurt knowing that I have an NFL future. You look at it as though, here's my opportunity to bolster my NFL future because I make big plays in a big game. Right. And something is missing there. I think it's because they have so many bowl games that by definition, every bowl game can't be a big game. You got to get back to that where each one of those is a big game. And so the seniors look at it as another opportunity to interview for their next level, their career, the NFL career. So
those that need it, right? Those that don't need it, they back up and they do what they
those that don't need it, don't need it.
It's a risky game. Every snap could be your last, so you got to watch out. So
or pay the players like you should have been doing all the time.
Pay the players, and then you get docked. We don't dock that check.
Not even dock. Like your pay requires when you playing every game, right?
Yeah.
Like it's depending on you playing every game in the season. Boom.
Right.
I'm
boom.
gonna play at that point.
If you're available, unless you got COVID or something, you go to
Right.
scratch or something.
Unless I'm a first rounder, then you can keep your little whatever 100,000.
Yeah. What do you think about Clemson going into this playoff game? OC COVID can't play, can't coach. He's out.
The DC, the defense court, is the OC or the DC?
OC. It's the OC.
It's the OC.
It's the OC. I don't know what his name is. I was actually surprised. Young brother.
Young brother, yeah. I thought it was
yeah.
a D coordinator. No, I guess because Venable's their D coordinator. You're right. So it's the OC. Does he really call the plays anyway? But anyway, that's neither here nor there.
But you know, this is biggest. These are the games that count, baby. So you're
right. And not having somebody in the mix, having something different in the game day operations in itself could be a distraction. But something tells me that
no time to prepare for it.
No time to prepare for it at all.
He found out he had COVID on the way out. So
on the way out.
And we talked about this earlier. I mean, that when you think about the bowl game, the opting out, the experience is different. You know, we weren't playing bowl games. You went out there for a bowl week. You got to go home. You got to go home for a couple of days. Then Christmas Day, you would leave.
Yep.
And you'd meet at this town. You know, for people who wear hats like myself in December in their own house, really happy because you get to go to a bowl game in the nice weather. You know, maybe your family came out, maybe not. You spent the week and it was big to do, and you guys had dinner here and pep rallies and all the Now for the playoffs, these teams landed tonight. The game it's Wednesday. The game is Friday. If I was to go watch the game, I would have left yesterday, the day before.
Crazy game.
It takes away from it. So these people opted out. Like, what am I missing, man? I'm not.
I ain't mad at them, man. At the end of the day, I think you know, these players are doing exactly what the universities and these institutions have done forever, and that is they are displaying self-interested behavior.
Absolutely,
I ain't mad at it.
Now we're going back a couple of days now, but did you catch the Coastal Carolina game?
I did. Good game. Great game. Yep. Almost they were down for a while. Yeah, they were down, but they made a heck of a push, but came up short.
Well, it's one of those endings. You know, you always see the guy who misses the field goal, fumbles the ball, drops the pass, and you see how that dude is just praying for somebody to come out and save his butt. But the running back at the end of the game, you know, everyone's like, hey, you run out the clock, you don't score, you run it to zero, you kick the field goal. So there's Coastal set this up. It's a tie score, I believe. Mm-hmm. There's maybe a minute left. Let's say the guy from Coastal from Liberty gets the ball and he sits still and he hangs out for a while and then he goes down. Like, all right, he's not going to score. Down on the 4-yard line. So I guess he decides that his kicker needs 2 more yards to do it. So now he runs forward with the ball and just to try to get a couple more yards, and the guys from Coastal Carolina get smart and grab him and try to take him over the goal line. And then his tight end, I did see it a couple more times, but the tight end in his defense, he looked like he was the biggest doofus out all of them, but he grabbed him. He tried to pull him back down from the waist, but somehow he got catapulted to where he was on the dude's back, and the running back tries to sit the ball down. I don't know what he actually thought he was going to do. That's really,
I don't know.
I'd like to interview him. It looked like he was trying to sit the ball down like you would do if you were going to try to field a punt and try to pin him deep. He fumbles the ball, and they lose the ball, and it goes to overtime. He's over here. If we lose this game, I can't go back to
can't ever. Like I never. No one
ever
ever.
Cut my meal plan off. Whatever. Yeah. But Liberty came back, kicked the field goal, and he got a homie right there that he must be buying drinks for the rest of the year.
For the rest of the year,
field goal, and then everything history. So beautiful bowl game. That's the thing about the bowl game, man. Nobody cared about Coastal Carolina. There's a young brother from Chicago going to Coastal Carolina, so now I care about him. No one cared about Liberty, but we watched the game because it was great. I love it.
Look, man, and we got quite a treat during this weird week that no one's doing anything. Football is just at your disposal anywhere and everywhere. And I'd have to say, seeing Liberty and Coastal Carolina not deal with all of these, I don't want to call them prima donnas, but guys that are self-interested and worried about the NFL and all the opt-outs, and just seeing the best quality of football that they were able to produce. It was a great freaking game.
The funny thing is they both became Division I schools recently, and they were rival teams that they had played before when they were at a different level. So it's kind of cool. They both came up together, and now they're both playing a meaningful.
And then something happened this year where they couldn't play.
Excuse me.
So the fact that it worked out where they were able to play a bowl game,
maybe like a COVID scratch or something like that.
It was it was perfect. It was
fantastic.
Serendipity, man. Great game.
I guess the one positive about the goofiness with the season is we didn't get the gap because you remember you got that kind of like December depression. Like after Thanksgiving, there'll be no games, and you're just kind of waiting around for bowl season. And then you know, Christmas is taking long, so it always is a while to come up. But this year, with all the goofiness, I don't think we had a week off. And we have football every week.
And look, that gap has been diminishing over time because again, they've got 1 million bowl games now. So bowl season starts early. And I watch all of them. So you know,
all of them,
you call it the Band-Aid Bowl.
I'm 11 in the morning, I'm watching it. You know, and now, I mean, we play, I think it was the regular season was like 9 or 10 games. Now it's 12 games. Yeah. And then they have championship games. So that's the 13th game. And now you got so you know, you're right. We're getting that December back. We're getting our December back.
Yeah. I'm happy. It's been a great, weird college football season. But I think it's been a great season, man. We have some good football in a very condensed amount of time.
So switching on, taking my football, but switching to the NFL level, what do you think? So everybody was tanking for Tua back in the day, and then he got hurt. And now it's tanking for Trevor. And somebody messed that up. And so the Jets
messed it up.
They're going to win 2 games in a row.
Yeah, they messed up my peace of mind with the Jets because they beat my Browns. So I'm so happy that they're not getting what is considered a once in a generation type player. Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. You know what? Like, all right, cool. You get to laugh at me, but I get to laugh at you for much longer because I think Trevor Lawrence is going to have quite the NFL career.
How happy is Trevor?
And you had him. You had him
not to go to the Jets.
I don't know though, man. Like New York.
New York is I mean, they're like the Clippers were for so long. They're in New York technically, but it's nobody. Whose team is the Jets? You're in New Jersey.
No, it's people. Now we also
Jets are their team.
Well, it's like a duo. It's Yankees, Giants,
and
then Jets, Mets. And so people who are just glutton for punishment are Jet. No, so it's a duo. Football. Your football, baseball teams are either that combination is either Giants and Yankees, or
you can't cross. You're not allowed to cross pollinate.
Most people don't. Most people don't. Like they really don't.
Side of town, not very astute. It's the side of town. So like in Chicago, everywhere we split the Bears and the Bulls. Northsiders, Southsiders are the Sox and the Cubs, and if you know. So people they take that seriously too out here. They don't mess around. They say, you know,
but y'all be like y'all into like the whole fabric of your culture is based on gang banging. That's why it's like your side of town. Here it ain't that neatly. It's just
up north, you know, the suburbs. We tough. We bang with the Cubs.
More people describe it as, you know, my great grandfather was a Mets fan, so I became a Mets fan. It's more. It's less about
Jets.
Regional.
I don't know if I've ever met a Jets fan. The only Jets fan I know about is Mike Greenberg. Mike in the morning. He was a Jets fan.
A lot of people who live in Jersey are Jets fans, both Giants and Jets fans. But yeah, it's a lot of Jets fans here.
Okay.
I mean, you don't see them wearing.
Trevor Lawrence gonna have a better time in Florida, Jacksonville, hang out.
Is that much better? The Jags?
Texas. Let's say Texas.
Okay. Now, from that standpoint, yes. But Jacksonville versus New York City, look, it boils down to sort of that whole off the field, because you look on TV, man. You and I now are in this media space, and Lord willing, you know, our faces will be on TV one day from our mouth.
For the right reasons. Yes,
for the right reasons. Right. But look at all the guys that play for the Giants or the Jets that are now on TV. They didn't, and a lot of them weren't Hall of Fame guys. It's just such a big market that
I just saw Dirty Sanchez. What's Sanchez's name? Mark Sanchez.
Mark Sanchez.
Him talking. The butt fumble guy, right? Yeah, but you're right. He played in LA and then he played for the Jets. You're right.
He played for the Jets, man. And it's just such a big market. So having said that, I don't think Trevor Lawrence has to worry about the off the field income because he's going to be making so much money on the field.
Shampoo commercials and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it'll come naturally.
Magnet man, but he's going to be all right.
We're down to a minute, man, but this has never kept us from
kept us before. So let's talk about Kentucky basketball. We got to put some basketball here so we let them know we're versatile.
They're terrible,
1-6, 1-5, something like that.
They have the worst record since the last pandemic. That's saying something.
The last pandemic. You don't ever like that type. Those aren't the kind of headlines you want to meet. Since the Spanish flu. Come on, man.
The good news is because they are hot garbage with the #1 recruiting class. Yeah. So I think that this whole concept that one and done is the way might be under siege with this Kentucky team because no one has questioned the talent that they have.
Right.
But it's their maturity, their ability to take their talent and translate it to wins. And
Mhm.
so, if there is a silver lining to Kentucky getting dog walked by everybody,
Yeah.
including Notre Dame, I
Yeah.
think the silver lining is that the one and done might be under siege, and we might see guys stay for a little bit
Do you
longer.
think people bail then? I mean, like, okay, we sucked. It doesn't matter. I'm gonna go make this money, and I didn't have a good time to come back to
No, well,
college.
I think the NBA is probably going to start letting 18-year-olds back in again as of next year. So
Or is
the
that what
comp,
they're saying?
rumored, I think, and
Rumor.
I don't know where they are with the latest CBA.
Because Calipari probably would have got Bronny James. That's LeBron's homie. So you thought he would have got there. So he's probably trying to hope he can get himself
I
out.
don't know if Bronny's good enough to go right in. I think he might need at least one. Some players need
That's why
one.
they pick him up, man. They'll pick him up. If the Ball brothers is getting in because of their daddy, then Bronny James can get in because of his daddy.
Well, maybe, but
He decent. I saw a little highlight tape the other day dunking on people and all that kind of stuff. He looked like he's doing a little something.
no, I think he's decent. But
He's
decent in the NBA terms, like decent, you can make it in NFL.
Yeah.
Decent in NBA terms,
You're not a lot of it's
you're
only
gonna
12 picks.
decently get your butt on a plane and head overseas because
second round,
ain't no decent in the NBA. All of them cats coming straight up ball, or they're
But
7.
does Bronny have enough? Does he have enough juice, LeBron, that you picking my son if he's for the draft? You
I
better
think
pick my damn son.
The Lakers would. The Lakers would.
The Lakers will pick him. They don't
I
have
mean,
a
a father-son duo playing on the same team.
Oh, it's not like they're already
Different
sold
level.
out. Just to
Different
come out
level.
the pandemic.
Yeah, different level of marketing there.
$10,000 per seat. Everybody
Yep.
pay.
Yep.
They do it. So we'll see. I mean, we'll see what's going to go on with this. Kentucky. What do you think about him giving up his Calipari again, giving up control of the what they call it, the non-negotiables to 3 players on the team? What do you just think that's a cop out? Just trying to
He's punting, man. He's punting. He never. He hasn't been here before. You know, and like Calipari's had squads. Even when they're struggling, they look good and they're producing NBA caliber talent.
Right.
This is
always
uncharted
underachieve,
territory.
considering who they have. They always underachieve.
Yeah.
But at the same
Calipari's
time,
only got 1 championship there,
but he does prepare people for the next level. If you look at the fact that people are better in the NFL, I don't know if you want to give him credit or whatever. He teaches people how to play within the system, whatever, and they all go to the NFL.
NBA. You're good.
And start balling out in the NBA and the killer. So I don't know. We'll see. It hasn't hurt their pocketbooks for playing for him. So
nah, man,
still get guys.
Matter of fact, he won it with Anthony Davis. Because I was thinking, like, how many Calipari's got to have at least 3 championships? No, 1 with Kentucky.
He gets close, but that championship, though, especially in the one and done era, you're going to get more of these teams that they have the people that actually are seniors and stuff like that. You know what I mean? You're going to get those kind of guys out there. So it's different. I miss it. I hope we have the NCAA tournament this year. I missed that tournament. I feel
I will have it this year.
We'll feel empty without it. So
although some teams are opting out to play. You saw the I think Duke women's basketball they opted out. They decided not to play. So.
Duke men's basketball opted out of non-conference games. So if you are not in the ACC, you have more COVID. That kind of stuff. This is such a weird year when it comes to that kind of stuff. I don't know what to go. I don't know.
I like that. Dr. Fauci hasn't said that yet, but I feel like it has to be in there somewhere. Or else Coach K wouldn't have done it. You're right. If you're not in the ACC, you're more COVID.
He's a very smart guy, so he had to go and he had to.
Dr. Fauci.
They said, I'm telling you, you have a higher risk of COVID if you keep playing really bad against bad teams. So we're going to just go ahead and opt out and practice. They're going to be practicing. All of a sudden, something I go back to football. I don't know if I feel insulted about this. So Notre Dame, they sequestered their players. They haven't got a chance Christmas or whatever. Bama, he let them go home for Christmas. They all could go home.
They went home for Christmas?
They went home for Christmas. It reminds me of my senior year of school. We played against Colorado, right? And we didn't have any business in the bowl game. This is one of those who could sell the tickets games. We were 500 and we played in the Fiesta Bowl. That's embarrassing even to say out loud. So we played Colorado. They had Cordell Stewart.
That's Michael Westbrook. That's
Michael Westbrook, Rashawn Salam. One of these tight ends, Furrier, some of his tight end was real good. They had all these dudes who were really, really good, right? And we had to be home at like 11, right? Every night. They had no curfew. So, their team was not worried about losing, not worried about staying focused. So, normally that would, we watch a lot of movies. It's poetic. Oh, man, these dudes are not on it. They would get on the mic and be like, it's 11 o'clock, Notre Dame. It's time to go home. We'd be at the same club. You'd be just there talking to some girl and be like, I'm tired, man. I got to play. So I'm just going to be up out of here. They would clown us on the way out, and they still beat the hell out of us. So, like, Bama let them go home for Christmas. You want that to come back and bite them. Like, one of them dudes, I don't want nobody to get COVID, but I want one of them to be, like, exposed to COVID or something. Somebody got to, you know what I mean, be quarantined.
Hey, man, it happened. They said Mike Tyson was partying before Buster Douglas. See what happened.
Yeah.
And you see T.O. just snitched on Donovan McNabb, said he was out drinking before the Super Bowl. And look, although they weren't the favorite, but I think it could happen, man. Crazier things have happened. I mean, we're in a pandemic year. Crazier things have happened. There's a man that walked on the moon, man. We could win this game. We could do it. Rah, rah, shish kumbah. That's right. I'm a homer. And I ain't.
That's what I'm saying, man. So right now I'm going to predict the game. Clemson over OSU.
You're going with that with Clemson over OSU.
I only predict the night games. I don't predict games. That's disrespectful too.
They put us at
the night game will be Clemson, Oklahoma.
Yeah,
and they got us the day game. We're the number 1 versus number 4 style.
Look, man, at the end of the day, if you want to beat a man, you gotta beat the man. And we gotta go out there and play, man. And somehow, some way they gotta
early because they're gonna be out all night. The night before, kicking it with these hussies in the street, even though they just got there. They're gonna take the bus and pull up on there. Show us some respect. We better beat this team. Man, I don't know. So it's gonna be tough. I'm not gonna make that prediction because
I ain't making that prediction either, man.
So we're gonna
if we are in the game in the second half, then it's any person's game. Because I mean, they haven't had several close games. They've been beating the bone out of everybody. And all you gotta do is Florida. Look, I'll say this: that Florida did, but even Florida had to rally late. Florida really was. I mean. So Alabama was never
get them when they call the dogs off.
Right.
Get them. Now's our time.
Alabama was never on the ropes. Let's be clear in that game. But I'll say this: this is probably the worst, in my mind, recent memory. It's the worst Alabama defense we're going to face. But you're comparing it to some crazy good defenses, but it's the worst one we face. So who knows? When I say we, I mean like in the current era, they had some good defenses, man.
I think they chill a lot. I think that's the problem with a team like that. They just chill, and then they just come out like monsters. They've been there before. But I'm hoping Ian Book going to come out, and he's going to say, listen, man, I've been here before. I don't like the way it tasted. We're just going to do something special. So we'll see. Man,
I got to tell everybody before we I don't know how many more topics we're going with, but I got to let everybody know that you're making appearance tomorrow on the Ball Hawk Sports Talk. Absolutely. We're going to take Hot 16, and we're going to go ahead and take it to the Ball Hawk Sports Talk, and so make sure y'all follow it. And it's the Ball Hawk Sports Talk with your boy B Brown, ESQ, aka the Ball Hawk, aka the Mile South, aka Mr. Excessive Celebration. And I'll be with my man Big Flo from the Big Flo
coming in. Get up early, man. Set my alarm clock. Get up early. Go check y'all. We don't
get it in. Let's get it in.
Get it in, man. Hope some of you guys saw my last show with Dr. Amber. Talking about sports psychology. She just a lot of good things going that she mentioned. I think it'd be great for you and your young athletes at home, and maybe taking your work thing. But before we sign out today, man, I got to give a special shout out to somebody. Yeah. I wish Donkey of the Day was not already taken, but in homage to Donkey of the Day, have you heard of Christian Woods?
The basketball player. I know the name.
Player. Christian Woods, very much about him. Yep. I want to give a shout out to his college girlfriend.
Okay.
Christian Woods is a 6'11" basketball player that thought for sure he was going to get drafted in the lottery. Thought for sure after the lottery that he would go to first round. When that didn't happen, for sure, second round. And his girlfriend thought the same thing. So what happened with this man, he said the most disappointing thing of that night wasn't not getting drafted, was that after that day, his girlfriend flew home and he never spoke to her again. She broke up with this man because he did not get drafted. She's a hussy.
Hussy.
But that same Christian Wood, he persevered. He found people who supported him. He found people who believed in him, and he just signed a $45 million contract with Houston. And his 45 M's. You wasn't with me shooting in the gym, so right now that girl is sitting.
American success story, man. Shout out to that brother.
Nobody cares about her, and all she's gonna say is, "That used to be my man." What happened?
Truth came out.
So you know what? I hope y'all ass didn't get nothing for Christmas. I hope you get a stimulus check.
Coal in the stock.
I hope your money ain't right. You get a stimulus check, and I hope that your boyfriend it looks up to this dude. The dude you deal now, and you can't even face it to tell him that that's who you could have had.
Can't even leave the car unattended
for breaking his heart.
It's gonna get repoed
out there, but he didn't do it. So he got more class in that because he got M's now.
Yeah, M's.
Get a little flash. So, man, I almost gave you the whole show without a ball hawk in the corner. So,
we're good.
We almost doubled up. This time we're not gonna double up. We're gonna save something for the morning. Getting ready. Sports Freestyle, Hot 16, Volume 10. We out.